Hey, Jay here. We got the ultimate EXC build, dual sport build right here. This is a 2018 KTM 350 EXC. These bikes are the same from like 16 range to even the 20, but they added a little sensor here. There's a little bit of differences, but basically the same up until 21. These bikes are really good. Stock, they are very corked down. This one's been uncorked, and this thing's a beast, and everything's done to this thing. Okay, so the main part of this build was the engine. Racetech did the engine for us, and they ported the head, and we got the Cylinder Works 366 kit. They fitted that up there, and this thing makes close to 450 type horsepower. Racetech uses a Vortex ECU to map this thing because with all those changes, it's got to be mapped. Takamoto has a lot of the uncorking and the cool blinkers, tail light that's integrated in with the blinkers. Takamoto's blinkers up front are really slick how they just snap around the fork guards. So they make some really cool specialized parts for EXCs. And so Takamoto has the whole rear tail section here with the Enduro plate, and they know how to do anything you need for these EXCs. And for the rest of the motor, we went ahead and put the two-stroke air filter cage in with our uni filter and FMF pipe because it is lighter, and also the insert works really well in there. It keeps it nice and quiet. It does make better power with it out, but we have it in. It feels really good with it in. And we run the stock header because we didn't have a FMF to run right now. So my buddy Luke Santos polished this stock header off for us, and it looks better than new. Thing looks amazing. So we got that on there, and this thing just really rips. We tested it before we got this thing to this point. We went ahead and tested it with before we cherried it out, and this thing just is amazing. So we made it look really nice with our UFO plastic and Decal Works graphics, Moto seat cover. All those things are to make it look nice. Decal Works makes a really nice guard for the plastic right here on the side panel that will help keep you from burning in there as bad, which is really nice. Got the UFO frame guards, P3 skid plate for protection, and we have our TM design pieces for the rotor, the caliper, and also the chain guide on the other side of the bike here with the sprocket side. And Bulletproof makes our guard here for the swing arm right above the rear chain guide. And that helps if you do take a hit there, you won't break those tabs off the swing arm. Also, they make these really cool little kits with the rubber band things here to hold your shrouds. And you can hold your shrouds and mount them up so that your shrouds will kind of be free floating. So they're not hard bolted into the thing, so into your radiator guard. So this way, if you hit your shroud against a tree or a bush real hard, which I have done, you won't rip the whole shroud off, which I have done as well. So that's kind of nice. The suspension, of course, Racetech went through the suspension, and they really like these Explorer forks to work with compared to, say, the 4CS or even the Air fork. These forks, this suspension on this bike is pretty dang good. I think it's really close to as good as some of my motocross bikes. I'm really happy with it. And I don't mind the PDS, the non-linkage bike on these off-road builds. I think it works great. I don't seem to have a problem with it. I think maybe full motocross, obviously, I think the linkage bike is probably better, but this is amazing. IMS has a catch can which goes in the frame. So we have that catch can in the frame to help us if we do overheat. We're going to catch some of that and put back in. And got the IMS larger tank, and this thing's great. We have the All Balls fuel pump in here, and we used a few of those other All Balls pieces throughout this as well. But we have that fuel pump in here. We have our Tusk wheels with our Geomax AT81 front tire, and in the rear tire is a 950 Dunlop D950, and this is a street legal dual sport tire, which is new for Dunlop, at least new in the US anyway, and this will be available this spring in March, April range, hopefully, and we're pretty happy with this thing. It's actually a K950 is what we call this thing. Just realized that. So really good option for guys that want that trail performance with a trials tire, but to be street legal, this thing's really good. So durable. It will last longer than a lot of tires out there in that case. For our bars, we went with our ODI bin. They're the Champ bin. I like these bars because they're a little taller than stock, but still straight. And the grips, the ODI grips, we are sold on lock-on grips now. I never thought I would be, but I am sold. I just love them. Quick and easy to put on. It's so nice. Okay, so as you can see, this mirror is really cool. So we only use the mirror maybe 10% of the time, but it's nice to have it. I really like having a good quality mirror, and Double Take mirror makes these mounts that go right on top of your clutch perch here, and you can tuck this thing away to where it's completely out of the way. It tucks right behind your headlight mask like this. You don't even notice it's there. Really cool setup. And we use the Enduro Engineering handguards, which wrap around. And for wraparound handguards, these are pretty trim and not too heavy, which I really like. And then the light setup is amazing. You got this Baja Designs light, which is really high output. And I think it's XL80 Pro, I think is what they call it. But Moto Minded makes some pieces so it fits in there really nice in their piece and puts it on a really good angle, and you can adjust it. But also Moto Minded makes this really cool bracket right here. And this bracket allows the speedometer and odometer readouts to move up a little bit, so you can actually see it. With a stock bar pad, you'd even see it more. But of course, we like ODI, so we're running the larger one. But it moves it up and it keeps all these wires tucked in really nice behind the front headlight mask here. To old builds we did, it was really tough to fit all these in nicely without that plate, which they make. And it has really good instructions, and there's plenty of holes with zip ties, so you can kind of keep all your wires away from each other and make everything really Sano in there, how it's all wired up. We run the stock kickstand, which works really well. We've had good luck with those as long as you make sure they stay tight and snug and lubed. Those are really good. We have our Scar pegs on. We have our Henson clutch cover, but also we have the Henson clutch plates, which we really like. I did a video showing that a while back on installing those. This bike comes with a fan stock, so that's really nice to have the fan set up on there. And the Vortex, the fan still works with that, so that's really a good deal, obviously. All right, so that's a really good look at this bike. Hopefully you guys enjoyed seeing some of these photos and just how amazing this bike is. It's a blast. So hopefully you enjoy and gives you some ideas. Most people obviously aren't going to be able to do everything like this to their EXC, but hopefully it gives you an idea of a few things that you can pull over, take from this and put on your EXC and give you something to work with. So hopefully you enjoy. We'll see you out at the track or trail soon.